The sign was the first thing Lisa saw. A bold, sold pending, staked into her lawn. She killed the engine and stared. Her summer house treated like a public listing. Her key wouldn't turn. The lock was new brass, not the old schlag she knew. She found the spare key hidden under the flat stone by the porch step. The door swung open to a living room she didn't recognize. A gray sectional where her mother's settee had been. The kitchen was worse. Granite counters, but her mother's cabinets ripped out and stacked.
Mom, you are early. I thought you weren't coming until next weekend.
Early? I wasn't told you were coming at all, Anthony.
You said at Christmas we could use it for the summer. You don't remember?
Lisa, we talked about this. The buyer's walkthrough is in an hour. You can meet him.
Buyer? What buyer? I never agreed to sell my house.
You did, Mom. You said we could do whatever we wanted. It's all for the best.
Number. I want you out of this house. This is fraud, Anthony.
Lisa, you've been so tired lately. Maybe you are just not remembering clearly.
They think they can rewrite my memory. They have no idea who they're dealing with.
Before she could answer, the crunch of tires on gravel turned every head toward the window.
No, not yet. He wasn't supposed to be here this early.
A man, in a blazer, stepped out of a black sedan. A folder tucked under his arm. Lisa walked to the front door, her heart pounding with something sharper than anger.
Hello, I am Lisa Reeves, the owner. You must be here about the house.
I am Mark Holloway. I was told the seller would be Anthony Reeves.
I can handle the walkthrough, Mark. Let's not bother my mother.
Nonsense. I know this house better than anyone. Come, I'll show you.
She led him into the living room where the gray sectional sat like a trespasser.
That couch wasn't here last month. Neither was the for sale sign in my yard. Mark, what did the listing promise you? That the kitchen was updated?
They stepped into the kitchen, and Lisa gestured toward the gutted cabinets.
Those cabinets were built by my mother in 1962. Now they're in a pile on the floor.
This doesn't match what I was told. I need to check the paperwork.
Lisa nodded slowly, a quiet victory in her eyes. As the walkthrough continued,
The listing bragged about brand new stainless appliances. Does this refrigerator look new to you?
Mark compared the listing sheet to the room. It clearly stated all appliances were upgraded last year.
The listing shows 2,200 square feet of living space. The original survey says 1,780.
I paid a premium for a property that was supposed to match every detail.
And the dock? It's rotting. Did you budget $30,000 for repairs this fall?
Through the window, the dock was visible, its planks warped, and the railing leaning.
The seller's disclosure claimed the dock was overhauled. I have confirmation in writing.
Then every line of that confirmation is a fabrication, Mr. Holloway.
Mark closed the folder with a snap. He looked at Anthony, whose face had drained of color. Without a word, Mark stepped out to the porch, his phone already pressed to his ear. Mark came back inside. His phone call ended, his jaw tight. He looked shaken.
Mark, who told you this house was for sale? Who listed it?
The seller listed was Anthony Reeves. The agent is a man named Carl. I have his signature on everything.
Carl, Pamela's brother. She used family to list my home without my consent.
Lisa walked to her car and retrieved the deed from the glove box. She unfolded the deed on the coffee table. The yellowed paper bore only her name, no other.
You never signed a quitclaim? This deed, it's still in your name alone.
Anthony lunged forward, but Lisa snatched the paper away, her knuckles white.
No quitclaim exists. I never transferred ownership to anyone. This is fraud.
Mark sank onto the gray sofa, the scale of the deception finally crushing him.
Explain this. Now, how could you list a house you don't own?
It's not like that. Mom, you must have forgotten the paperwork. We had an understanding.
This is all a terrible misunderstanding. The agent, he must have mixed up the ownership.
The agent is Carl, your brother. You used your own family to commit fraud against me.
Mark's face hardened. He stood up so fast, the sofa cushion bounced.
I am calling my attorney right now. This deal is dead.
He walked out to the porch, dialing, while Anthony crumpled against the wall.
You've lost more than the sale. You've lost this house. And you've lost me.
Outside, Mark's voice carried through the screen door. Sharp, legal terms. No margin for grace. The room fell into a thick, waiting silence. Everyone listening to the distant sound of Mark ending the call. Lisa picked up the listing folder and began photographing every page with a steady hand.
These will prove my ownership. No one can erase what's on paper.
Mom, we were in so much debt. Pamela said the sale would fix everything. Please understand.
Theft is theft. You let her convince you to steal from your own mother.
You were never here. This house was wasted on you. We were doing you a favor.
My attorney is reporting this fraud to the state board. Expect formal charges.
I'll cooperate. Give me his card. I want to make sure this ends here.
Mark handed her a stiff business card, his expression hard. He walked out without another word.
I am sorry. I should have stopped her. I didn't know how.
Lisa slipped the card into her pocket and turned to the window. The lake was calm, but she wasn't.
Give me every key to this house. Now, you've lost the right to walk in.
Mom, we're family. Don't shut us out. I didn't want this to go so far.
You'll regret this, Lisa. I am calling Carl. He'll know what to do.
Anthony's hand shook as he passed her the new keys, tears tracking his cheeks.
I am calling a locksmith. You have until tomorrow to pack your things and leave.
Anthony sank onto the stairs, his sobs muffled by his hands.
You chose to betray me. Now live with the consequences. I won't be fooled again.
The deal's dead. She's kicking us out. Call the attorney.
Lisa pocketed the keys and the attorney's card, her hand steady as she dialed the locksmith. The house settled into a tense quiet, the lake outside as still as the anger boiling inside. Lisa turned to Anthony's briefcase, left open on the coffee table. She pulled out a stapled agreement. Her own name was signed at the bottom, the loops wrong, the slant too sharp. A notary seal sat beside it.
You forged my signature. This is a criminal act, not a family mistake.
A friend of mine notarized it. He owed me a favor. He didn't ask questions.
We had $60,000 in credit card debt. Pamela said it was the only way to keep our house.
My son, let her commit forgery to save their own finances. There's no coming back from this.
She felt the final thread of maternal trust snap. What remained was only evidence.
This document alone could put you in prison. Do you understand that?
I didn't think. I was just trying to survive the debt. I never meant to hurt you.
Lisa placed the forged agreement into her own folder next to the deed. Her evidence was complete. Lisa walked out to the dock, the folder still clutched against her chest. The house felt foreign behind her.
This dock was her father's project one long summer. He taught her to fish right here. Her mother's kitchen was the heart of every summer. Now its bones were scattered on a tile floor.
She thought of her husband, who had promised this lake house would stay in the family forever.
He would be ashamed of what our son has done. But he would also tell me to be strong.
A tear slipped down her cheek, but she did not wipe it away. She let the weight of betrayal settle.
How did my own son become someone who could forge my name and sell my memories?
The lake's surface was a sheet of copper. Somewhere a loon called. The world went on, indifferent.
Do I press charges and send my son to prison? Or do I let him walk away and bear the scar forever?
She sat down on the rough planks and let the silence hold her. The choice would come, but not yet. Lisa walked back into the house and dialed the non-emergency number without hesitation.
I need an officer at my lake house. Someone listed it for sale without my consent.
Anthony heard her from the stairs and stumbled into the room, his face drained of color.
Mom, hang up. Please. We can fix this without the police.
Pamela stormed in behind him, her voice cutting like glass.
You pathetic coward. She's bluffing. Let her call. It changes nothing.
Lisa ignored them, ended the call, and immediately dialed the attorney's number. She photographed the forged agreement and sent it with a single text. Evidence attached. Pursuing charges. Within minutes, the distant wail of a siren cut through the afternoon stillness. The sound grew closer, and Anthony's sobs turned silent, his hands gripping the stair rail. The patrol car crunched to a stop beside Lisa's SUV. Officer Davis stepped out, his expression neutral.
Officer, my home was listed without my permission. My signature was forged on the sale agreement.
Ma'am, forgery and fraud are felonies. Pressing charges could mean serious prison time for your son.
He turned Anthony around and loosely cuffed him, just enough to keep him present while sorting the allegations.
Mom, please. Don't do this. I'll pay you back. I'll do anything.
Stop begging. She's loving this. Let her have her moment of power.
Mrs. Reeves, it's your call. Do you want to pursue criminal charges against your son?
One word could destroy him, but if I don't say it, will he ever understand?
The afternoon air hung still. Lisa looked from the handcuffs to her son's tear-streaked face. The officer waited, his pen still. The power to end or redeem her son rested entirely in her next words. For a fleeting moment, Lisa saw him at 7, barefoot on this dock, his small hand clutching a fishing pole.
That boy would have asked permission. That boy trusted me. He is not the man in those cuffs. Officer, I won't press criminal charges, but they must leave my house today, and I never want to see either of them again.
Understood. The civil complaint from the buyer's attorney may still proceed, but you are free on my end.
He removed the handcuffs from Anthony's wrists, the metal clicking like a door unlocking.
Thank you. I'll fix everything. I swear.
Fix what? She's still throwing us out. You are pathetic.
No more second chances, Anthony. You killed whatever was left between us.
Officer Davis wrote his report, then walked to his cruiser without looking back. The siren stayed silent. The gravel crunched as the patrol car left. The air between them was heavier than any handcuff.
Start packing. Now. A truck will be here at 8 tomorrow morning.
Pamela's mouth twisted, but she snatched an empty box from the corner and began shoving clothes inside. Anthony reached for her hand, but she stepped back as though burned.
Save your apologies. They mean nothing now. Pack.
The living room filled with open suitcases and the sound of drawers slamming.
This is insane. We'll sue her for illegal eviction.
It's over, Pamela. We lost.
She turned and walked toward the kitchen, the noise of packing following her like a fading finish natural like of. At the kitchen table, she stared at the torn-out cabinets and felt nothing. The grief would come later. She sat there until the light faded, the house growing dark around her, a hollow shell waiting to be filled again. Lisa rose from the kitchen chair and walked through the darkened house, room by room, her footsteps echoing on the bare floors. In the living room, she touched the edge of the gray sofa, already tagged with packing tape, and felt nothing but fatigue. A drawer in the hall bureau held old photographs she hadn't seen in years. Her mother in the kitchen, her husband on the dock, Anthony as a baby.
She let herself remember one perfect summer before tucking them back, closing the drawer on that chapter.
At her desk, she opened a notebook and began a list. New locks, cabinet restoration, dock repair, new paint. She wrote until the ink blurred under her tired eyes, then set the list aside. Tomorrow would be the first day of reclaiming this place. Sleep never came. She stood at the window, watching the stars pale into morning, the lake turning from black to silver. The rumble of a diesel engine broke the silence at sunrise. Headlights swept the driveway as a white moving truck pulled up to the house. She pulled on her sweater and walked to the front door, her hand steady on the knob. The day of reckoning had arrived. The movers climbed out, clipboard in hand. Lisa opened the door and stepped onto the porch to meet them. The movers hoisted the gray sofa and carried it out like a body. The living room grew emptier by the minute.
I'll find a way to pay you back. Every cent. I swear I'll make this right someday.
There's no fixing this, Anthony. Just go.
You'll regret this. One day you'll be alone and no one will be here to help.
You've been alone since the day you walked in. Goodbye, Pamela.
The last load was the kitchen table chairs, stacked awkwardly by movers who asked no questions. Anthony lingered in the driveway, his hand on the car door, his eyes searching for something Lisa had already locked away. The car started and crunched down the gravel. She watched until it disappeared behind the pines. She closed the front door and leaned her forehead against the cool wood. The house was silent. She walked into the hollow living room, her footsteps echoing where furniture used to be. The locksmith's van pulled up less than an hour after the moving truck left.
All of them. Every lock on every door. I want this house mine again.
The drill whined as the old brass cylinder fell away. She watched until the new deadbolt slid into place. When the locksmith handed her the new keys, she closed her fingers around them and nodded.
These keys are mine. No one else will ever turn them.
She walked back inside, through the echo of the empty living room, and felt the strange mixture of grief and freedom. In the kitchen, she peeled the blue painter's tape from the cabinets. One strip at a time, she traced her fingertips over the wood grain her mother had chosen 60 years earlier.
She would have wept to see them on the floor, but they'll be back where they belong.
By late afternoon, the counters were clear, the cabinets ready for paint, and Lisa stood in the kitchen, with something like peace beginning to take root. A week later, a thick envelope arrived from the state real estate board. The letter read, "The broker license of Carl Donovan has been suspended pending investigation." It continued, "The forged quitclaim has been forwarded to the district attorney. No criminal charges are being filed per your request." Lisa closed her eyes for a long moment. The weight of the summer began to lift.
Justice without my vengeance. That's enough.
She opened her eyes and looked out at the lake. The water was silver and still. The porch felt like hers again. Every board, every nail. She folded the letter carefully, tracing the crease with her thumb. She slipped it into her pocket, next to the keys that only she now held. The house was quiet. The sign at the road was gone. Summer waited, empty and full of possibility. Lisa scrubbed the kitchen floor on her knees, the water dark with old dust and neglect. She set a vase of wildflowers in the center of the kitchen table, something her mother always did. She pulled out her mother's recipe card, the handwriting fading, and began to sift flour while the pie baked. She sat on the porch rocker, the screen door giving its familiar creak. The kitchen filled with the scent of cinnamon and apples, a perfume she had missed for years.
This is what the house was meant for. Not granite, not sails, just this.
She placed a single slice on a plate, the lattice crust golden, and carried it outside. On the porch, she raised the fork to her mouth. The taste was a memory of her mother's kitchen.
She smiled to herself, truly alone, but no longer lonely. This was enough.
The sun dipped behind the pines, and the lake turned soft pink before twilight settled over the house. Each morning, Lisa walked to the dock and slipped into the cool lake water before the sun climbed too high. She swam until her arms ached, then floated on her back, letting the sky fill her vision. The garden was a tangle of weeds when she started, but now marigolds lined the path. She knelt in the soil, the warmth of the earth grounding her more than any conversation could. At the town market, she hugged a new friend, both laughing over a shared joke.
We should do a book club. I've got a porch that needs voices.
That evening, she painted the porch railing, humming a tune her husband used to whistle. From her dock, she waved at a passing boat, and the couple aboard waved back. In the evenings, she read by the fire, the house feeling full even in its emptiness.
She was no longer waiting. This summer she had almost lost was now entirely hers.
Late August. The dock was warm under her bare feet as the sun melted into the lake. She lifted her phone and captured the view. Gold water, pink clouds, the silhouette of her dock. The camera saw what she felt. A peace that had been hard won. She set the phone down and raised a flute of champagne to the darkening sky. Behind her, the house stood. Its locks changed. Its kitchen restored. A shooting star blazed across the indigo curtain.
She made a wish, not for revenge, but for the courage to keep moving forward.
A quiet pride rose in her chest. She had stood up for herself. She raised her glass to the lake, to the house, to the woman she had become. The champagne was cool, the evening warm. She lingered, content, as the stars multiplied. Lisa finished the last sip of champagne and set the flute on the dock beside her. The water lapped softly against the pilings, a rhythm she'd known since childhood. She breathed in the pine-scented air and felt no regrets. Only the quiet certainty of a season survived. She turned and walked slowly back along the dock, her hand trailing on the wooden railing. The house glowed ahead, every window lit like a promise kept, its reflection rippling on the dark water. Inside, the rooms were quiet, but the silence was no longer empty. It was full of her presence. She paused on the porch. One last look at the stars, then closed the door behind her with a soft click. The house settled, its foundation strong, its heart beating in the woman who had refused to let it go. And as the night drew its curtain, one truth remained. Etched into the stillness, the house remained hers.